Hey, what's up guys, and welcome back to another little Fallout 4 mod update for the attachment pack. It's been a little bit since we had the last one where we talked about all of the new attachments that will be featured on the vanilla Fallout 4 assault rifle in the upcoming attachment pack, but this week we've got two new weapons pretty much done and ready to show off, those being the submachine gun or the Thompson, and then also the Deliverer or the Walther PPK. These are two weapons I wasn't particularly excited for doing in the attachment pack. The Deliverer, because it is just such a bland weapon, there's not a whole lot you can do with a little compact pistol like that, but I think we came up with some pretty cool ideas. And then the Thompson, I had a similar issue. The Thompson is such a unique design that it's hard to come up with new attachments for something that doesn't have too many variations in real life. The only thing I've ever seen in real life done with the Thompson are those crazy disgusting tactical variants, which is totally not going to happen in this mod. You guys know I'm going for a bit more of a lore-friendly aesthetic here. Yet, despite having those two restrictions, I think we actually came up with some pretty cool stuff, especially the Thompson. This went from being one of my least favorite weapons to being one that I actually really enjoy with some of the attachments we came up with. And not only are there going to be the attachments in this pack, but in the future upcoming Raider and Junk style packs, there's going to be even more cool stuff with these weapons. So I'm really excited for not only what we have today in this video, but also for some other stuff that we're not going to show off just quite yet. Before we get into all the specifics and the exact attachments that we've finished so far and the stuff that'll be showcased in this video, I just want to say both of these weapons are going to function pretty much exactly the same as they do in the vanilla game, just with some enhanced stats that can be added with some of these new attachments. So you're not going to get any crazy rechambers for, say, the Thompson and turn it into a laser RCW. I think there's better mods that do that already, so the idea instead for these attachments is to take what is in the vanilla game and enhance it. This is going to be a close quarters, high fire rate submachine gun that performs like that, and the attachments that we included are just going to enhance that and improve upon the customizability, because in the vanilla game the Thompson had one of the least amount of customizations of any of the ballistic firearms. Same idea goes for the Deliverer in this mod. At the end of the day, it's going to be a nice little pistol that is a little bit more beneficial in stealth, though come that Junk or Raider pack that comes out in the future, there's going to be some modifications that help it break out of the box a little bit. So with that said, let's go ahead and hop in game and check out some of the new attachments that will be featured in the upcoming attachment pack. Just keep in mind this is still technically work in progress. While most of these will probably be in the final project, there may be small tweaks here and there. Alright, so here we are in game with the newly added attachments for the Deliverer and Thompson, and this time around things are a bit different because somehow Pig forced his way into this video.
I'm here.
He's here. You're gonna have to speak up a little bit.
No, I'm not gonna speak up.
Okay. You at least have to get next to the mic, for Christ's sake.
Is this close enough?
That's too close. Anyways,
okay.
Let's talk about this stuff. If you aren't aware, somehow Pig has been helping me out a lot with this mod, and so having him here to talk about some of the stuff that he's done is nice. You know, little recognition for the stuff that he's doing, because he's putting in a lot of work behind the scenes. I do a lot more of the modeling stuff, but he's been helping me out with the CK, so it's a good little collaboration here. So let's first start with the Deliverer, since that is probably easier to talk about. It is still just a little rinky-dink pistol, but it's got some cool new stuff and helped to fill in some of the gaps that Bethesda left that it did add to some of the other vanilla guns. So as for receivers, we didn't actually do anything this time around, nor do I think we have plans to, right? It's just going to stay as is. Yeah. We do have a special receiver planned for the Junk pack, but for the regular attachment pack, I'm pretty sure the Deliverer is as is in terms of receivers. Maybe we'll add a rechamber, like a 38 or something along those lines, but I don't see why you'd want to add a worse receiver to this. It's pretty bad enough as it is.
Yeah.
As for barrels, same thing, short and extended is all there is. Pig, you talked about doing the super long barrel, but we just never really got around on that, did we?
Yeah, it could be kind of goofy. Yeah,
I've seen other people do it, but yeah, I feel like most people don't even bother using it. It does have a nice range buff, but speaking on visuals and aesthetics, it's kind of nasty if you were to take it super long.
If I wanted to do a longer barrel, I think I'd want to go for more of a P38 vibe.
Yeah, and if we're going to do that, we might as well throw it in the Junk pack for the goofier stuff like that, I think.
Yeah.
Grips, though, we've got fun stuff. So in the base game, we got the standard grip and the comfort grip, and I believe the sharpshooter's grip. And the comfort grip has no model change, which is pretty disappointing. But we've added some fun stuff like the light stock, which is going to be a pretty simple wireframe stock using an asset that we've been using quite a bit, but it just works so perfectly. It's Pretty fun little one, going to give you some nice accuracy bonuses. And then the recoil compensating stock is just a heavier version of that with a much thicker stock that's going to allow for even better accuracy. But also, I think you have a lot of fun with this one, we got the laser grip. So we wanted to add a laser sight to this gun, and it was kind of hard to figure out how. The simple answer to anybody who doesn't make mods would be to throw this thing underneath. However, given that we want it to be a functional laser sight like all the other lasers in this game, or in our mod rather, it needs to be functional, and that means having certain qualities that are odd. So I'll go ahead and show that off. The way that this works, you equip the deliver, and hopefully Pig got those numbers right. Whenever you aim down sights, it works. Look at that. Yeah. The laser goes right where it goes. If you've been watching the channel...
I really enjoy how it looks in that aim down sight.
Yeah, it looks very Resident Evil, which I think is really freaking cool. Tactical in a good way. But if you've been watching the channel for a while, you know I'm all about these functional laser sights. It's something I tested a while back, and I've been throwing it in all of my mods ever since. And so, theoretically, we could have done the little compact laser underneath. There are Walter PPK laser sights like that, but there are also laser sights that are built into the grip, and I think this one's really cool. The only thing that you had said, Pig, that you wanted to add that we don't have here yet is a version of this laser grip that uses the black rubber grip, right?
Yeah.
So we may add that.
Some concealed carry pistols in real life that have similar black polymer with the laser built into them, which is kind of neat.
And honestly, I do think it'd look better with this kind of laser. It looks a little weird on the vanilla grip, but maybe having both options is better. That way people can pick and choose according to their preference. But yeah, that's what we have for grips. I'm actually going to put it back to a regular grip here so it stays on the center of the screen. We do have the addition of a new magazine, which is the drum mag, which in its current state looks a little goofy. I'm not very happy with how this is. The magazine on the deliver is weird because it's only really on the front end of the grip because it's a pretty small caliber. And it has that little gear wheel there that they use to guide the magazine in, I suppose. I don't actually know what that's for, IRL.
It's weird because I assumed it was like a heel catch for the magazine, but it's also got the push button release on top.
It's super weird. Yeah, this is probably going to change. I'm thinking of swapping this out for either one of the other drum mags in the vanilla game or possibly a custom mag. It's definitely not going to stay like this. This is one of the work in progress things. Nothing for sights, and that was an intentional choice. We could have added sights, but they will move with the slide, and unless we decided to edit the vanilla receiver...
Actually, the see-through scopes don't move with the slide.
They do, actually. They do.
Do they?
Yeah, the see-through scopes do move, and I don't like that, because they're attached by a rail, which is what I would like to do, but they actually move with the slide, which makes no sense. What's the point of the rail?
Yeah, that's kind of...
So, unless you wanted to make a bunch of edits to the vanilla receiver, you're going to have to not add sights. And so I think, as far as balance goes, we don't want to do that. We do, however, have some newly added muzzles, because in the vanilla game, it was just the suppressor. Well, now we've filled out some of the other things, like a newly added compensator, a muzzle brake, and a heavy suppressor. So the compensator and muzzle brake is just to fill in that gap that all the other weapons have, but for some reason this one did not. And then the heavy suppressor is an interesting one. This allows you to really embrace the stealth playstyle using a suppressor, but it's going to heavily increase the weight while also negating the range debuff that the normal suppressor gives you. So this is going to allow you to still shoot things at range, but it's just going to be a bit of a heavier package, which I think is nice. If you really want to do that stealth playstyle, you're not going to be hindered by the regular suppressor. And this thing is much, much larger than the regular suppressor. I quite like this thing.
Yeah, I really enjoy the offset vibe of it.
And then the machine gun, or the submachine gun, is where things get really, really fun. So I actually want to save the receivers for last on this one because it's got some cool functionality there. Let's go ahead and talk about barrels. So in the vanilla game, it's just the standard barrel and the light barrel.
Yeah, short light. It's got the fins.
And that's it. Yeah, they even have it called short light, but they don't even have a longer version, which is kind of goofy. We also added some other variations, like the stub barrel, which is going to shorten that length a little bit. We also have the covered stub barrel, which is going to give you a nice little heat shield there. And then we also have a standard version of that as well in the form of the covered barrel. And then we also have what is definitely my favorite addition, the suppressed barrel, which looks absolutely beautiful. I'm really, really happy with this one. And it even comes with a new little front sight to go with it, which looks interesting to say the least. The design of this is based on, what is it, the Persuader, one of the early prototypes for the submachine gun, which I think looks really, really cool. Then we also have some other stuff in the stock section. In the base game, we have, what is it, the short stock here, full stock, and then the recoil stock, which has no change cosmetics whatsoever. We also added an option for no stock. If you don't want a stock whatsoever, you can just use the pistol grip. The light stock is going to give you a nice little folding wire stock, or not folding, but a collapsible wire stock. And then we have the actual folding stock ripped straight off of the Nuka World AK, and I believe that's it. That's all that we've added, is those three. Though we do have some other stuff in the works that may be being provided by JCruz05, but that's not done yet, so I don't want to show that off until we've actually got it in hand. For magazines, this is where things get really exciting. In the base game, we have a small drum and a large drum, and quick eject versions of both of those, and there was a serious lack of stick mags. Now, there's been a lot of mods to add stick mags to this thing, but now we've gone and added our own. So here is the standard stick mag, the quick eject stick mag, which has a nice little tape wrap, and then also a medium mag and a quick eject medium mag that you can use in place of the drum. So if you want that old style stick mag, it is technically worse than the drums. It will make your gun a whole lot lighter, and it's also going to give you less rounds, obviously. But the coolest part about these, if we'll go ahead and throw one on, is that we actually got permissions to get some custom animations for these, since there are none in the vanilla game. So if we fire this, we actually have custom anims, which is really, really cool, and definitely one of my favorite features so far in the attachment pack. That is it for receivers, though, medium and small versions, and then quick ejects as well. Let's go ahead and move on to the sights. There is nothing added unless you throw on, say, the Westech pack. But for muzzles, we have a whole lot added here. There is the standard vanilla compensator. Now there is also the advanced compensator, which we will be adding to some of the other weapons as well to give you more muzzle choices. The standard muzzle brake and the advanced muzzle brake, because I just really wanted to see the vanilla assault rifle muzzle brake added to this thing. I think it looks funny and goofy and really diesel punk. And then we also have the suppressor. Now,
no, we don't. No, we don't.
Yes, we do. There's a suppressor right here. Look at it. Look at this
part of the vanilla, you idiot.
Yeah, I was gonna finish talking. You interrupted me mid-sentence. You freaking goob. We have the regular suppressor, which is vanilla, and then rather than having an advanced suppressor like the deliverer has, we instead have that suppressed barrel, which functions pretty much the same. It's going to give you no range debuff, but it is going to restrict your ability to use muzzle devices. So that's the trade-off there. Now, that isn't it for the SMG. There actually is one more thing, and that is an entirely new receiver, which is the experimental 10mm receiver. And I don't know if you can really see it in this menu, but this actually changes the look of the receiver a little bit. It's going to remove the little sidebars there around the iron sight, and it's also going to add a guard over the pistol grip there, making it a lot more like the Persuader prototype. So this is going to change some of the stats up just a little bit. It's going to give you a much faster fire rate, and the damage is going to be exactly the same as the powerful receiver, so it is worth grabbing this thing, though it is going to rechamber the weapon, so be aware of that. If we actually grab this thing and take it in-game, you'll notice that it is a little bit different in first person, missing those side rails right there. It looks pretty cool and has a nice open sight picture, which I do like. Alright, I think that just about covers everything that we've added so far. This may not be exactly everything. One thing that I do know is missing from the Thompson right now is there will be a laser sight like there is for all of the other guns. But if you have any other suggestions, be sure to let us know. There is some other stuff in the works that we haven't shown off now, and of course stuff that will be coming in future junk packs, but I'm sure you guys will leave some comments giving suggestions for what else might be able to be added to the SMG or even the Deliver. I'd love to hear your feedback. As far as what we're doing next after this, I think we're moving on to the laser rifle, which is going to be a lot of fun. That'll be the first energy weapon I think we've covered, right, for the attachment pack?
Oh, I think so, yeah.
Yeah, so that's going to be a very different workflow. Typically, when we're doing guns, the big hardest thing is trying to match all of the colors of the gunmetals, because for some reason every gun in Fallout 4 seems like was done by a different artist and uses different textures, so that's been really fun to try to match. And so moving on to laser weapons is going to be even more difficult with a whole bunch of colors to match, like the yellows and greens that are added with the laser weapons. So that'll be pretty interesting. So stay tuned for that. We'll be posting updates not only on the Discord, but on YouTube community posts, and eventually you'll be getting a YouTube video breakdown sort of like this one. So stay tuned for that. Say bye, Pig.
No, I won't say bye.
Okay. So, yeah, I think that's everything. I hope you guys enjoy these little sneak peek behind-the-scenes stuff. I know you guys have told me before that you do, but I always just want to make sure that you are enjoying these videos to their fullest. This attachment pack has been a whole lot to work on. I know you guys are starting to get a teensy bit impatient, always asking for when it's going to be released, how big it's going to be, how close we are to being done, and you just got to keep in mind, there are a lot of weapons in the vanilla game and the DLCs, and we're trying to cover them all to make the best possible mod for you guys. So be patient, bear with us, and we'll keep posting updates as they come. With that, though, I hope you guys did enjoy this video. If you did, don't forget to drop a rating and let me know down in the comments if you truly did. Be sure to consider subscribing if you haven't already and you enjoy these mod updates, the mods I'm working on, or just the mod reviews that we do in general. Big shout out to all of my patrons for supporting every single video and the mods that I make myself. And of course, a very special thank you to Captain Chaos, Helljumper, Indecisive Wolf, Jackie Noid, Timmy76, Cushy, Moonlit Gamer, Feed, and Youth RC for joining that Tier 3 Patreon membership. If you'd like to support the channel over on Patreon, you can do so using the link down in the description, but it's completely optional. Thanks again for watching, guys, and I hope to see you in the next one. Peace!